Likewise, the Spirit also help our infirmities, for we know that we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is in the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God. And we know that all things work together for the good of them that love God, to them which are called according to his purpose. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. Now let's go back for 1 second. What was the saints? Here is the patience of the saints, and here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. For there is no respect of persons with God. For as many have sinned without the law, the song of Moses, shall also perish without the law. And as many have sinned in the law, shall be judged by the law. For it's not the hearers of the law that are just before God, but the doers of the law shall be justified. Let's not forget, the Lord will judge his people. You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness thou shalt judge thy neighbor. Thou shalt not go up or down as a talebearer among the people, neither shall they stand against the blood of thy neighbor, for I am the Lord. John, Jesus says, Greater love had no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends, if you do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what the Lord doeth. But I called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you, that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit shall remain, that whatsoever you shall ask of the Father in my name he will give you. And these things I command you, that you love one another. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt, which means you shall in any wise rebuke your neighbor and not suffer sin to be upon him. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. In 1 Timothy, it reminds us, Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Now in Corinthians, Paul says, For while one saith, I am of Paul, and another saith, I am Apollos, are you not carnal? Paul also says later on, For other foundation can no man lay that is laid, which is Jesus Christ. But then he says, according to the grace of God which is given to me, as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed now how he buildeth thereon. Let's go ahead and look at G6:22 as concerning while one saith I am Paul and another I am Apollos, are you not carnal? Strong's definition of apollemy, it's to destroy fully, reflexively to perish or lose, literally or figuratively to destroy, die, lose, mar, perish. 1 Corinthians 11, Neither was a man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. Nevertheless, neither is a man without the woman, and neither woman without the man in the Lord. For as the woman is of the man, even so the man also by the woman. but all things are of God. Okay? Now, back up to 7, and he says, I speak this by permission and not commandment. For I would that all men were even as I myself, but every man hath this proper gift of God, one after another, and another after that. I say therefore to the unmarried and the widows, it is good for them to abide even as I. This is by permission. Remember that. Not commandment. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. So he wants them to remain like him, unmarried. But then he goes and says it's better to marry than to burn. And then to the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband. But if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife, because by God, it's supposed to be a marriage and wife. By Paul, he recommends that it just be the man without a woman, because he also says they will burn. Matthew 19, and he answered and said to them, have you not read that which made them at the beginning, made them male and female? And he said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. Wherefore what God hath joined together, let no man, such as Paul, put asunder. And Jesus also said, you have heard how I said unto you, I go away and I come again. If you love me, you would rejoice, because I said, I go unto the Father, for my Father is greater than I. And now I have told you before it come to pass, that when it come to pass you might believe. Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of the world cometh, and hath nothing in me. And Jesus answered and said to them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.